Welcome to the training modules for the Guelph-Wellington Local Immigration Partnership Interactive Community Services Map and the Guelph Open Data website. These modules will cover two online resources that will help you connect your clients with the services they need. The first one is the Interactive Community Services Map. After taking this training, you should be able to locate childcare, health services, organizations serving immigrants, or schools for your clients based on their location. You should be able to limit the results you see using layers, queries, and searches, and you should be able to export maps based on the results from the layers, queries, and searches. With respect to the Guelph Open Data website, after taking this training, you should be able to use the website to select and download community services datasets in spreadsheet or map format. There are a number of important differences between these tools. The first one is that the Interactive Community Services Map is in fact interactive. The choices you make change the data that's displayed on the map. Whereas with the Guelph Open Data website, the information is static. Everything is displayed at once. The Interactive Community Services Map is focused on service providers. The Guelph Open Data website, however, covers more than service providers. It also includes physical resources such as parks and gardens, as well as event-driven data such as calls by the Guelph Police or Freedom of Information requests. The Interactive Community Services Map is updated annually by GWLIP staff on or before April 30th. The Guelph Open Data website is updated by the City of Guelph throughout the year. And the Interactive Community Services Map covers all of Wellington County, whereas the Guelph Open Data website is focused on the City of Guelph, although GWLIP staff are working with the City of Guelph to include county data in future updates. The first resource we will talk about is the Interactive Community Services Map. The best way to get to the Interactive Community Services Map is through the Guelph-Wellington Local Immigration Partnership website at www.guelphwellingtonlip.ca. Close to the bottom of the page, on the left-hand side, you'll see a large orange button labeled Interactive Community Services Map. If you click on that button, it will open a new tab and take you to the home page view for that resource. This is the default view you see when you first load the Interactive Community Services Map in your browser. You will see a map of Guelph with icons representing the various resources. They're coded according to the four categories of information: childcare, health services, organizations serving immigrants, and school boards. Across the top, on the right, in the blue navigation bar, you will see buttons corresponding to the various tools that we will discuss in these training modules. The first tool that we will talk about is the Layers tool. The Layers tool is used to control the amount of information shown on the map. In this slide in the upper right, the button for the tool Layers is circled in red. If you click on this button, it'll open a menu called the Layer List. The operational layers list will include GWLIP, which is the master folder for our layers. If you open this by selecting the gray triangle to the left, it'll show you layers that correspond to each of the four categories. The checkboxes can be turned on and off to limit the amount of information on the screen so that you can focus on the category of interest to you and your client. The next tool we'd like to show you is the Basemap tool. Basemap is the tool used to change the map background. On this slide, the Basemap tool is circled in red in the upper right. If you click on that button, it'll open a menu with two options. The first one is topographic, which is the default setting. The second one is called imagery, which is similar to Google Earth. If you select the imagery button, the background map changes to this view. Most of the time, though, you'll be using topographic, and that's why it's the default. The next tool is the Query tool. The query tool is for viewing complete lists of service providers in each category. On this slide, the query tool is circled in red in the upper right. If you click on this button, it will open a menu showing a list of tasks. Tasks are query items that allow you to select a specific category in which you want to see the list of providers. If you select one of these, for instance, childcare, you will be taken to the Results tab, and that will list all of the individual entries in the childcare list. Selecting any one of those entries will zoom the map to that location and bring up an overlay with information regarding that record. If we move back to the Layers tool, we'll find that the query is now listed as a separate layer. To get rid of that layer and to cancel the query, return to the Query tool and select the three dots circled in red on this slide, which open a contextual menu. Here, you can select Flash, which will make all of the entries on the list flash on the screen momentarily, or you can select the X to remove the query altogether, which will also remove it from the layers list. The next tool is Search. The Search tool is for finding specific service providers by name or keyword. On this slide, the Search tool is circled in red in the upper right. If you select this button, it will open a search field window. Enter a search term into this box and click the magnifying glass icon on the right to execute the search. For instance, entering the word Guelph will bring up all entries from all 4 datasets that contain the word Guelph. And as you can see here, they will be organized by the 4 categories, with headers for childcare, health services, organizations serving immigrants, and school boards. You can filter the results using the Filter menu, which is the triangle to the left of the search box, which will allow you to select results from only one category at a time. Here, we've selected the childcare, which reduces the number of results considerably. And again, as with the query, if you select a result, it will move the map to that location and show an overlay with information concerning that record. The Print tool is used for saving the maps that you'll see on the screen to electronic files that you can print or email. More accurately, this would be called Print to File. The Print tool is circled in red in the upper right on this slide. If you click this tool, it opens a menu with a few options. Under Map Title is an open field where you can enter a name for your map. The default name is Guelph-Wellington Local Immigration Partnership, but you can customize the name to whatever you'd like it to be. It also has pull-downs for layout and format, which we'll come to in a moment. If you click the Print button, the finished map will appear in a list below. To view the map, double-click its file name. This slide shows what the PDF would look like for the default map. You'll notice that the zoom level of the map is the zoom level that was shown on screen before you click Print. So in other words, this is a what you see is what you get situation. If you want to have a map with a closer zoom setting, you'll need to go back and change the settings on the screen. You can also change the page size and orientation. The default is letter, or 8.5 by 11, in landscape orientation, but there are a number of other choices that might meet your needs. You can also select your output format. You can do EPS, which is an Illustrator file, a GIF, JPEG, PDF, or PNG file. You'll notice also that the map is zoomed much more closely and is focused on the Guelph Public Library. When we click Print and then follow the PDF link, we're going to wind up with a map that is much closer and more zoomed in and reflects the level of zoom that was on the screen before we printed the map. The next resource we'd like to talk about is the Guelph Open Data website. The best way to visit this is through the Guelph Open Data portal at data.open.guelph.ca. You will see a grid of various catalogs. Select the catalog for Community Services data. As we discussed at the beginning of these modules, the data is not interactive. What you see is what you get. The data covers more than just services, and it primarily covers only the city of Guelph. It's also available in 4 file formats. The 2 that you want to use are the CSV or spreadsheet file and a file called GeoJSON, which is a viewable map image. The other file formats, ESRI and KML, are technical formats for map makers and not likely useful to you. This is the home page that you get for the Community Services catalog of the Guelph Open Data website. It has a total of 12 data sets. This currently shows 5. You'll need to scroll down to see the other 7. Notice that for each data set there's a title, a description, and then icons that indicate the file formats that are available. For the data sets on this screen, they're all available in GeoJSON, which is the viewable map format, as well as the other 2 technical files that I mentioned previously. Scrolling further down, here are the remaining 7 data sets. We're going to focus for this module on the Healthcare Services in Guelph dataset because it has the 2 file formats that we're most interested in, GeoJSON and CSV. Clicking on the link for the Healthcare Services in Guelph dataset brings up a window focused on that data. It includes a slightly more detailed description, including who the custodian of the data is, and highlighted in red are the 2 options you have for downloading this data. It's available as a map or it's available as a spreadsheet. If you click on the Explore button, for instance, for the map, you can either preview or download. Previewing the GeoJSON file brings up a window like this. You'll notice that at the top, under the title Healthcare Services in Guelph, there's a URL. You can use that URL and embed it directly in an email or in a file that you're creating, and anyone who clicks on the URL will come to this screen. There's also, just above the image of the map to the right, an embed button, which if you click that, it will give you code that you can embed in your WordPress or other website that will bring this image directly into your page. The map is zoomable and it has record indicators which you can click on to bring up contextual information. Unlike the Interactive Community Services map, the information on these records is not necessarily constructed to be user-friendly. The data that's available on the Guelph Open Data website may not have been conceived for the purpose that you intend to use it for. Therefore, we have to take the data as it is. In this case, it appears that there's a street number and a street indicator. However, this could also just be record objects or other database artifacts which may not be useful to you or to your clients. So we discourage you from relying on the information in these pop-ups because they are essentially a reflection of the data behind the map and they're not curated for users. If we go back and preview the CSV file, it will bring up a typical spreadsheet view. This is an opportunity for you to get a sense of the kinds of columns that are available in this spreadsheet to determine if the information in this record is useful for the purpose that you want to apply it to. Thank you for listening to this orientation session. Thank you for watching these training modules on the Interactive Community Services Map and the Guelph Open Data website. For further information or to find a link to the Community Services Map, please visit our website at www.guelph-wellingtonlip.ca.